From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, September the 17th, 2024. The IDF continues to battle terror group Hamas as well as other terror groups in Gaza, eliminating terrorists and terror infrastructure, including, it shared today, the head of the Islamic Jihad's rocket and missile unit in the Rafah area was eliminated in an intelligence-based strike. The IDF said he was responsible for the Islamic Jihad's rocket attacks in the Rafah brigade and was an important source of knowledge of rocket fire within the Islamic Jihad terrorist organization in Gaza, and that he was responsible for firing rockets from inside the humanitarian area toward Israeli civilians. The IDF noting that at the time of the strike, he was embedded and operating inside the humanitarian area in Khan Yunis. The IDF also noting that prior to the strike, numerous steps were taken to mitigate the risk of harming civilians, including the use of precise munitions, aerial surveillance, and additional intelligence. And the IDF continues to defend the northern border with Lebanon amid ongoing rocket and drone attacks from terror group Hezbollah, including today when the IDF said several unmanned aircraft were detected that crossed the territory of Lebanon towards Israel. Some of them were intercepted. Falls were detected in the area near Ramot Naftali. The IDF said there were no casualties. The IDF continues to respond to the Hezbollah attacks and earlier today hit a number of terrorists from Hezbollah who it said were operating in a military structure of the organization, and that fighter jets attacked the building and eliminated 3 terrorists who were operating there. Lebanon's health minister said today that some 2,800 members of Hezbollah were injured in Lebanon and reportedly also several in Syria when their pagers exploded. There were also reports that 9 Hezbollah members were killed. It is unclear at this time what the cause was, though Lebanon's information minister as well as Hezbollah accused Israel of being responsible. As of the time of the taping of this newscast, Israel had not commented on the incident. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Egypt for the next few days to co-chair the opening of the U.S.-Egypt Strategic Dialogue. And the State Department said that in addition to that, the Secretary will also meet with Egyptian officials to discuss ongoing efforts to reach a ceasefire in Gaza that secures the release of all hostages, alleviates the suffering of the Palestinian people, and helps establish broader regional security. The Times of Israel cited State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller saying yesterday in a press briefing that the United States is still working with mediators, Egypt and Qatar, to present a revised proposal for a hostage ceasefire deal, with the goal being that it's a proposal that can get the parties to an ultimate agreement. Miller telling reporters, "I don't have a timetable for you other than to say that we are working expeditiously to try to develop that proposal." The hostages who remain captive by Hamas in Gaza have now been held for 347 days. Well, police in Ann Arbor are investigating the assault of a Jewish student on the campus of the University of Michigan this past weekend. The 19-year-old was said to have been walking on campus when he was asked by a group of unknown males if he was Jewish. When he replied yes, they attacked him and then fled the scene. The student sustained minor injuries and did not require hospitalization. The incident is being investigated by local police as a bias-motivated assault and an instance of ethnic intimidation. The university's president, Santa Ono, said, "We strongly condemn and denounce this act of violence and all anti-Semitic acts. Anti-Semitism is in direct conflict with the university's deeply held values of safety, respect, and inclusion, and has no place within our community." Ono saying, "As the Ann Arbor police investigate this matter, let us recommit to ensuring our campus remains safe and inclusive for all, urging anyone with knowledge about the incident to share it with police, and saying, in turn, we will also ask that the perpetrators are fully held accountable for their actions. CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, said that the ADL has put up a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the suspects, saying there is no place for anti-Semitism or bigotry on our streets or on our campuses. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, September the 17th. At 7 o'clock, Professor Assaf Zeevi and a senior at Columbia University discuss campus protests and anti-Semitism there, as well as the university's response, with the leaders of ISGAP, Charles Asher Small and David Harris. At 8, Justin Pine speaks with world-renowned prayer and meditation guide Rabbi Daniel Kohn to explore the transformative and uplifting potential of prayer and expanding our consciousness. At 9, Ellen Hershkin is on L'chaim. At 10, it's the ILTV's Insider, which is also coming up next. And at 10:30, an encore of the news. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, September the 17th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.